in those videos that masquerade as kid content, like yeah, I can see why they're kid content, but there'll always be like those one or two scenes that pop up and I'm like, damn, this shouldn't be in a YouTube Kids video.
With these mobile devices in our faces every day, it's going to be very hard. And because of that, people get lonelier. We are the most connected generation, but we are also the loneliest, and that's what saddens me.
Stream testing two bases. You wreck me up if you're one.
Hi guys, and welcome back
To Real Talk.
Welcome back to our Real Talk podcast. Oh my god.
Why?
We have to be sync.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to our Real
Real
Talk
Talk
podcast. Today we'll be talking about a very special topic, something we both hold dear to our heart.
Yeah, and it's also something that we grew up with and something that we've been living with and we use a lot.
So, do you guys know what it is?
Why would you ask?
Okay, today we're gonna be talking about social media and how it has impacted our generation and the upcoming ones.
Especially like within the range of Gen Z to Gen Alpha. Okay, so to start off, we'll be naming a few current trends of the mark. So maybe we're thinking about like matcha and also
Labubus?
yeah, Labubus.
Yeah, those are really popular. I think. Have you seen the video of people fighting for Labubus?
No.
Like they were pushing people
But it's
when
not
the store
that
was
deep.
opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, the current trends nowadays, I feel aren't as entertaining as it was last time. I feel like nowadays trends are just coming and going really fast.
Yeah. Like you will see a trend come in like it gets all over the internet and all of a sudden 3 weeks later it completely disappears.
Exactly, that's how fast-paced social media is. And you remember the Indonesian kid on the boat, and he was like,
Oh yeah,
funny.
that one.
And it suddenly disappeared. Like we've never
I
seen
think it got
videos of it.
overused to the point that like also like I think I heard somewhere that he doesn't even look happy doing it anymore because every time he does it, it's just for like marketing purposes or to like ride the trend, you know, because his family members like, oh my god, you have this, so we're gonna use it to our benefit. Yeah.
I mean, some trends are honestly okay, quite decent. Like, okay, people have mixed opinions about matcha. For example, like for me, I personally am okay with matcha. Depends on the quality of the matcha.
And I personally think it tastes like grass.
Yeah, so that's when some trends have certain conflicts based on people's opinions.
Yeah.
But it's fine because to each their own. So as a whole, trends are just. What do you think of them?
I think trends are normally like they are just very like fast paced and also not a lot of them stay, and I feel like most of it just serves as entertainment quality, but like if you dig a lot deeper there's actually like some negative connotations behind it. Like for example some dance trends, right? Like it's fun and all, but dance trends have like moved on and evolved a lot from how it used to be back then. Like last time it used to be like those musically like videos like and then there will be those like TikTok dances where they'll do like I don't know, renegade or anything. But like now if we look at the dance trends, right, a lot of people have been saying that they've been getting boring because there are lesser hand gestures, there are lesser like, you know, like body movements. Yeah, it's mostly just like you can memorize it all within 3 minutes and it looks boring as a whole. There's no musicality, there's no like real dancing to the movement. It's just like looking pretty and like, you know, like shaking your and it doesn't really like, you know, kind of like highlight the appeal of dancing on this platform as how it used to be back then as a form of expression. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is living without social media. So surprisingly, I have never had an Instagram account in my whole life.
And it's always something that I've been telling her, like, you know, you should get an Instagram account because if you don't, then you'll be like missing out on connecting with other people.
I mean, for me, the main reason as to why I don't have social media solely due to the fact that I don't see the need to have it.
Mm.
And it's more of seeing other people's lives and flaunting your happy lifestyle to other people. And personally, I feel like I am someone who wants to live in the moment rather than see what others are doing on screen. I feel like it's more towards putting on an act for people, and it genuinely doesn't give me much joy in trying to be perfect and performing for others. Okay, no hate, but to me it's just something that I strongly believe that having a social media account isn't what I want.
And I think as I grow up, right, I tend to like see that also. I agree with Lisa's point, cause but it's very hard to like try to deviate from, because when you use social media from such a young age, and it's actually like so normalized in like our like society, like you need to have an Instagram account, you need to be connected to others on like threads or something, need to download like the latest app to like bond better with your friends, and it kind of like gets so integrated into our lives that like even our school stuff, our academic stuff are moving on digitally, right? So Telegram channels become like a platform for like teachers to or students to communicate like the workload to one another. There's also like WhatsApp group chats, and those things are like things that we can't really move away from if we wanted to like have a social media detox, because that's where we find our homework, our stuff at when education is moving like online.
It's literally already integrated into our lives.
Yeah.
Like we can't run away from the fact that we would have to see our phones every day. Screen times shooting up to like 5-6 hours a day, and it's considered normal, which I don't think it should be.
I feel like adding on to the point where I feel like I want to move away from like social media, but because I have so many accounts, and sometimes like you would want to like there's this feeling of wanting to like show your life also to other people,
and the feeling of FOMO,
the
fear
feeling
of missing out. I think that's something a lot of teens struggle with, because if other teenagers have mobile devices, they're gonna tell their parents, I want a mobile device because my friends are also having their phones, why can't I have one?
I think also this is more relevant in like Gen Alpha, but like cause kids have phones right at such a young age, so naturally they will like focus more on playing their phones. Like you won't really see like kids talking to one another about their day anymore, like oh like I went to like eat this ice cream today, the ice cream, and or whatever like Gen Alpha talks about right now.
So it's more towards this new term coined called iPad kids.
Yeah,
I saw it was a really saddening sight to see, but
saddening.
Is it a word? Is it a word?
It was a very, maybe you can say like
heart-throbbing.
Heart-throbbing,
heartbreaking sight to see. But there was this, I would say maybe as young as 2-3 years old, kid in a pram, and then he was holding the big iPad, watching brightly saturated Cocomelon, cartoons with blasting Wheels on the Bus music, and the mom was pushing the pram, but she was looking at her phone. So both of them had devices that they were staring at, and it's so sad because I don't see any social connection, no interactions between the mother and the child, when this is the stages of development that they should be interacting with people, because when they grow up to become adults, they would lack the socialization skills, and us as human beings, we are developed to interact with other people. That's how we have been living and surviving on this earth. We have to talk to people, interact with them, but with these mobile devices in our faces every day, it's going to be very hard. And because of that, people get lonelier. We are the most connected generation, but we are also the loneliest, and that's what saddens me.
I feel like another crucial point to add is also that whatever content may be going through like social media, while it's good that social media is established so we can get to know like all around the world what's happening around it, what are like some of the world issues that we're currently facing and be educated on current events. But for those minors, it actually proves to be a very dangerous space. Like when you are exposed to social media at such a young age, right? Like you know those kids, like you know those contents like red pill stuff and like the whatever Sigma like stuff like that. It actually like creates a culture of misogyny within those kids who like consume this content and they don't know that it's wrong because that's what they've been consuming. And at such a young age their brain is still developing, so they'll learn to like not be able to like differentiate right from wrong if they're not like taught well by their parents to actually teach them those values, you know. So like you have like little boys who might actually get like a sense of self-entitlement because they like consume this like harmful red pill content that like makes them know like, oh, I gotta be like a nonchalant like person, I just need to not care about anything, like yeah.
And I think the things online are harmful, as well as the fact that everything nowadays are more sexualized. Have you seen those like
Oh my god, you know, I got a shock because like there's actually, you know, in those videos that masquerade as kid content, like yeah, I can see why they're kid content, but there'll always be like those one or two scenes that pop up and I'm like, damn, this shouldn't be in a YouTube Kids video. Get that out of the screen right now.
Yeah, you know that Elsa and the Spider-Man thing, that literally traumatized me.
That was what I watched when I was a kid.
You did?
Yeah.
Actually?
Like, I consumed a bit of it, but then like it was normally at my friend's house. Yeah, but anyway, like some of those cartoons, like you know, shouldn't be propagated to kids. Like for example, there's this cartoon called the. It's strictly like not to minors, and I think they've been trying to establish that because like recently their stuff has been getting like a bit more adult jokes inside. But like I've seen YouTube videos going around where they sexualize these characters from this like frame it as in like a kids content type of show, and it's actually very dangerous because like you never know what they might be growing up with. They might think that like this kind of jokes is like normal to make, or it's normal to view someone in this way.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's gonna rewire their brain. They're not gonna see things the way that it's supposed to be seen, meaning that everything will be over sexualized for them. They're gonna start doing weird things, and they're not gonna have proper relationships with other people, and it's gonna affect their mental health, which brings us to the worsening of mental health with the rise of social media. So social media has always been an outlet to express yourself, but at the same time it's more to seeing other people's lives and comparing with them, and it brings so much discontent in you if you see the fact that people are enjoying their lives, and it makes you wonder, why am I not in the same position as them? Why can't I be like them? Which makes you go on this pursuit of happiness, but in the end it just drains you and it's not giving you much purpose in life. So social media is really something that can break you.
I also agree because like social media sometimes propagates the ideas of like, you know, hookup culture. I've actually heard like people as early as like in their 13s and 14s, they've already like done it so many times. Yeah,
you know?
And like they like the idea of love is getting so corrupted
so
because of those like ideas. Yeah, like people think that, oh, in order to get close to someone, in order to like feel like connected with someone, I need to like, you know,
be physically intimate.
Yeah.
Which is wrong. You don't have to be. You don't have to touch a person to know who they are. They're not braille, you know.
And oh, I see what you did there. Okay, but oftentimes like it actually like makes us feel even more lonely. In fact, when we have such ideas, cause like we'll be like, oh my god, like why isn't like my relationships working out? Like I thought we would be more deeply connected if I do this with someone and if I have like all that physical intimacy with them, but instead I feel so empty inside.
And you know how there's like different red flags, green flags, and like, oh, what's your type and all that, and they give like the most ridiculous types. Like wow.
Like it's good to have expectations, but at the same time, are these expectations like, do they really matter when you're looking for someone who like you're going to like live your lifelong like journey with. And I think that's also like a whole other can of worms between casual relationships and whether you want to date to marry, that's the kind of thing. Yeah.
And another point I want to touch on is on consumerism. So remember I talked about the boo-boos and how people are fighting for them. And honestly, I'm really confused because why would you want something like, okay, so you get the thing, then what's next? You want to get another one, and you keep going and going and going, and then your money, it's burning a hole in your wallet.
Yeah.
So afterwards, what's next? You know, there's always this what's next when it comes to social media. You can get all the standees, you can get all the labubus, but what's next? You know, you're gonna chase the next high. But to me, happiness is something you have to be content with yourself. It doesn't come from those materialistic items that people are trying to say is the key to happiness, which isn't. You know, you have to know that happiness comes from the time you spend with people, the memories you create, not the things you buy, which are gonna disappear and not be a trend one day.
I think I also have to add on like a point that's a bit more underlooked. So normally in like the K-pop community or like the anime community, there's this belief that if you are the #1 fan of a character and an idol, you need to have a lot of merch about them. And normally that's not true because the amount of merch you buy, like actually it doesn't really equate to like your adoration, doesn't really like stop you from like, doesn't really like enable you to support like that idol more. Like it's all about how you feel towards them. Like those materialistic items don't equate to you being the #1 fan or anything. Like sure, you're supporting their merchandise, but you can always support in like different ways.
Right.
But I think this also applies to like the anime community a lot more. I think the K-pop community isn't, cause like technically if you buy their merchandise, then you'll be like giving them like money, you know. But okay, that's another like whole different thing. But for the anime community, I think that's more emphasized because those characters, they're not even real. So like if you buy their merch, you're actually like not supporting the characters because they're fictional. So you don't need to buy a lot of it to show everyone like, hey, I'm the #1 fan of this. Like there can be other ways than that because you're always going to like move on from this character and then afterwards you'll be like, oh, I bought so much merch and now I just don't know what to do with them, you know.
Adding on to your point, I think that we suddenly start developing relationships not with people but with AI as well. Like those 2D men, all those chat AI?
Like CAI.
CAI, and people are actually having real relationships with AI, which I don't think is healthy because it's going to affect your social life. You know, other than that, it just makes your mental health decline. I think I don't think there's anyone who's genuinely happy with where they are right now. Sure, everyone struggles, but it's something that you can overcome. Okay,
actually, like I do have like a confession to make because I used to be a CAI user. Like I used to use it like super extensively.
I'm not surprised.
Because like no, like it is fun at first. Like you get to like chat with like characters that you won't in real life because you know they're characters. Then you get to like role play with them. But eventually I realized right that I'm actually going down like a really dark hole of like consuming this content. Like I chat more of them, but it actually doesn't really like fill me, you know. Like I will always know that these characters are not real, and instead what I'm doing is just spending more screen time on that thing, and like eventually it might even like go down to like darker stuff, which actually like becomes an addiction. And I think that's not healthy because I realize right that I'm socially isolating myself from connecting with other people when I'm connecting with AI. Like for example, when I'm chatting with AI, I'm getting really engrossed. I tend to like ignore like chats from my friends or like messages to hang out. Like I'm always thinking
she always
about,
leave
like,
me on red.
No, but that's not the case now, okay? Because after I realized that this is like an addiction, it does get quite difficult to like try and like break away from it. But it's good to take that first step to like distract yourself with something else instead of like chatting with AI, because ultimately nothing's gonna come out of that.
And that's the thing, like I don't blame the people who use those apps, nor do I blame the parents for giving them the phones. it's more towards those tech companies who actually understand the psychology of spending a lot of time on the phones, and their main goal is to earn money through getting your attention spans and your time, which equates to the amount of money they're gonna earn. And that's such a horrendous thing because they are trying to take away your time away. They're trying to waste your time for their own profit, for their own gains. And to break the cycle, you really need a lot of willpower to stop being addicted to that phone, you know.
Like, I think talking about it, like, a lot of platforms actually don't really reinforce the barrier for minors well. Like, for example, let's say Roblox. Like, recently they are coming under fire because their regulations are basically not safe for minors. Like, it's very like loosely controlled. So I watched this one video where like there was this person saying like, oh, the Roblox emote function, it's a lot of new emotes and some are cool, but some are really questionable, and we can clearly tell that they're going to be used in wrong ways.
They're literally gonna come for our children.
Yeah, especially when like those pedophiles, they will like use those emotes with the children don't know, you know, and they like get unknowingly sucked into this like deep like dark hole where they will be groomed and like all those like things will come out.
And that's such a serious issue because in the case of a child now, they have lesser attention span. They say brain rot things. Like, I feel like their brain is literally rotting with the words that they say, like skibidi toilet, and then the 6-7, oh my goodness.
But to be honest, if we think about it, while it's funny like to us to like make jokes about it, but
like can have a little haha hee hee there.
But the thing is, we know that it's satire. But like those kids, they don't know that it's satire.
Yeah, they think it like it's something real.
They think it's actually like real
they
vocabulary.
They take it seriously.
Can you imagine like in an oral exam when the kid goes up to you like, okay, so what do you think about this boy who littered? I think the boy who littered's not Sigma and he's not like Skibidi because
Do you know the senator, the Australian senator who spoke brain rot? Yeah, it's gotten to the point.
Yeah, it's concerning because people in the comments are like, I actually understand this better than like I understand like normal like senator discussions, and that's concerning because while it's funny and while it's relatable, but it actually means that our linguistic ability might be like, you know, dropping, that we no longer are able to like wire our brains to understand difficult vocabulary terms, and it might mean that we're kind of like downgrading our brain's ability to take in like those difficult words. And I think that's actually really sad because in the past, you know how people wrote classics and there were all those like really cool like, you know, literary classics, but now like it's the words are getting simpler and simpler, and while it's good for us as from a reading perspective, but like do we read in order, we need to gain some knowledge from reading, right? Can't just be purely like, oh, it's for our own entertainment. And
I don't even think kids can read nowadays.
Yeah, like very few kids you see, right? They'll be like, oh, I don't usually read a book. Like back in our days, we used to read like Raw Down.
My mom takes me to the library every week, you know. I love those pop-up books, you know, the one with the, you open then you got like something inside.
I know like do you read Matilda or like Enid Blyton?
Matilda. I made like an analysis on Matilda in primary school. That's how locked in I was. Books are a source of knowledge in a sense where this knowledge is actually good knowledge for us, rather than the knowledge on the internet like, whoa, skibidi toilet. What type of knowledge is that?
Like all those books we used to read in the past actually stimulated our imaginative selves to think about like something new, but all that content that they've been watching on the YouTube might not actually do the same, you know. Because actually I saw like when you see things visually, it's a lot different to when you read it in text, because when you read it in text you have to imagine it in your brain, and that process actually helps your brain a lot in like generating creative ideas and being more creative compared to like watching these things from a screen and like just absorbing it as it is.
And now there's a heavy reliance on ChatGPT. Even I would admit myself that I asked ChatGPT for like homework answers and all that.
And it could not just stop there, sometimes we go to ChatGPT for like, hey, like I've been facing this problem, like what should I do? And it might even like branch out to like, hey, ChatGPT, I'm thinking about getting McDonald's or Subway, which one should I get?
Yeah.
Like basically it's like become our best friend in like talking to these things too.
Yeah,
And while it may sound crazy, it's actually real.
Yeah, and you can't even make your own decisions anymore. You rely on an AI to do it for you, and I think that it would worsen our skills in maybe getting a job, taking risks, and you don't know what to do, So you have to have critical thinking skills. You can't have an over reliance on AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you escape the cycle?
I think that's
Are there any ways? Are there like measures, any steps we can do to slowly pull ourselves out from the online world?
I think firstly, like speaking for ourselves first, it's very important to like first acknowledge the fact of whether or not social media is really important in your life. And if it isn't, you just feel like you're going on social media to just like post things about your life or like catch up on other people's lives, then go through the cycle of doom scrolling, then maybe it's okay if you can just like take a step back and like limit yourself from entering social media more. It's actually okay to like if it needs be, you can also like delete those social media apps that you no longer really use anymore. You see that it's like kind of like a waste of your time.
I think we are the only generation who has lived with and without the internet, because we were born between when the internet was booming, when people actually want to make good content.
Yeah, like that was Nokia and like
that rock phone.
yeah.
Yeah. So, wait, let me think. Yeah, a way is to actually delete those apps. Like, okay, social media is an addiction. And the way you have to stop it is to completely cut the source out. You don't get high from your own supply. You have to delete those social media apps. And then there's this phrase they always say, oh, touch grass. Okay, you don't just touch grass once. You have to live with the grass. You have to be outside, connect with other people. It's not that hard actually. That's the thing, we say it's hard, but we don't actually do the actions,
I feel like if you want a social media account, that's okay too. But like probably for example on Instagram, you don't need to be like chronically active. Like for me on Instagram, I just post like, oh, I hung out with this friend today, then I store it in my story as highlights, and then it's like memories, because sometimes you can't store everything in our phone bank, cause photo bank, cause my storage will like go exploding. Yeah, so it's good. And then afterwards maybe you just quit the app, and like you don't really have to like look through and like go through a whole like scrolling process and get yourself stuck in.
You have to break out of the cycle. So you have to remove those social media apps. If not, you're gonna continue opening it in the morning, wasting your day, and then doing it all over again.
I think also one really important thing to do is try to get more hobbies.
That's true.
Because to fill up the space that we use scrolling our phones aimlessly, it's good to also like go out there and like do something. Or if you're not an outdoors person, can always like do something indoors, like maybe pick up a new book. And if you really struggle to get into reading, maybe find out what you're interested in first, and then you can like ask for recommendations from like your friends that you don't read. Yeah.
Okay,
And like try to get into that beginner thing first.
Learning an instrument. Those, how do I say, it's like artistic, not more of painting, but more of like diamond painting.
Oh yeah, those.
Or like the sticker,
Yeah.
3D sticker pasting. Or like, what else you can do? Skateboarding, cycling.
Yeah. Or
This
like
also
table
helps
tennis.
develop your skills. Like, you can put it on your resume. Oh, my hobbies include. People like people with hobbies. Yeah, genuinely, it shows that there's more to this person than just someone who doom scrolls every day.
Or if you want to like use it, but it's not bad to use social media. Like you can always use it for knowledge. Like sometimes probably try cultivating your YouTube feed to something that's like a balance between informative and
Subscribe
entertainment.
to those YouTubers who actually give benefit to you rather than just entertaining you. Like us.
That was a very shameless
Yeah.
promotion.
Paiseh.
But that doesn't mean that it's wrong to consume forms of entertainment. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I just feel like, wow, I'm really overwhelmed today. I just want to like watch this show where
Unwind,
it's just like,
sure.
yeah.
But too much of something is bad for you. So make sure you strike a balance between watching entertainment and doing your own other things.
Yeah, like really there's a lot to explore outside of social media. So
Yeah.
could try like getting off your screen for a few hours and just try like a whole lot of things. Like there's a reason why our parents managed to survive this long and like yeah.
And maybe at the same time you try to interact with them as well. Spend more time with your parents. You know, have fun with them. Okay, so don't spend too much time on your phone. After this, I suggest you click off and start doing your own things.
But not before you give us a like on this video.
Oh, clock that! Alright, so I think this comes to our end of our social media episode, podcast. Any last words?
No.
Alright. So thank you guys for watching and we'll see you in the next episode. Say bye to the camera.
Bye bye.
Bye! Continuously wave.
How long?
I don't know.